Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Omnifactory. As you can probably tell, the wall of fluid solidifiers has grown quite significantly, which also means that I've been able to tear down a bunch of the other things below. I wasn't able to record anything yesterday, but I did manage to play for a couple of hours spread out throughout the day. And this is kind of what we're left with just now. I've gotten up to this MV line here. There was a row of blast furnaces here for the basic metals like stainless steel, the vibrant alloy, energetic, things like that. That's all gone. And I'm going to kind of just show you what I've left and why I've left it. But eventually, of course, all of this will be rebuilt and it will be moved up. You might be able to see some extra stuff up there. I'll show you that in a bit as well. So the things that are left are more or less things that can't just be straight fluid solidified. And which is why I've kept it here for now, so that we still have the infrastructure. But yeah, this has been a more difficult process than I thought it would be. I thought it would just be like, oh, we just tear everything out and then fluid solidify everything, but not everything can be fluid solidified, and not everything is direct as it seems. For example, we're going to have to set up these boards again to be fully passive and faster than, what are these, HV machines? Yeah, I think HV. So we'll probably end up putting them in processing arrays. Although I don't have any processing arrays set up in the new base. This vacuum freezer can probably go. I just wanted to leave it while I was tearing things down in case we got any hot ingots. And then there's the dusts. I'm not actually sure which dusts I'm going to have to passive, so I just left all these here just in case. And I swapped out like creative tanks for things like phosphoric acid for the luminescence, but I don't think there's going to be any other way to get this, so we'll have to probably passive aluminium dust, which we can do after fluid solidifying the ingot, and then passive energetic blend. So we'll have to have some room for crafters somewhere up in the new base. Things like this is just like our full drawers that I haven't moved yet. And then there's more dusts here. Like, I'm not sure exactly how many of these we'll have to keep up in the new place. Like, for example, signalum. We don't need this for signalum ingots since we're solidifying it. But I believe it is used in other mixer recipes. Yeah, it's for fluxed electrum, which can't be fluid solidified itself, and we're going to need fluxed electrum, so we have to make this dust, and therefore we need all of these dusts. So things like that has like more than just a couple of steps I've left. And then yeah, the implosion compressor, that'll have to get moved, as we're going to have to keep that. There's just more dust, aluminum, the clathrates, and then mana dust, and all of these thermal dusts, we'll have to keep those as well. So these we'll have to end up rebuilding. And then this is our multi-smelter, that's going to stay. All of this is for, this was the original ethylene and polyethylene production, and I just briefly started to remove this, or think about what I need to keep from this. Things like the polyvinyl chloride sheets, we have to keep those. I think I've actually already got those on Solidify. Polyvinyl chloride, oh no, it looks like I've just done the thin sheets, because I don't think you need the regular sheets for anything. It's just the boards, which can also be made with polytetrafluoroethylene, and this gives 4 pair, so I don't actually think we need just these sheets. And then sodium hydroxide, the byproduct, we don't need this. This is just for making a bunch of chemicals, which we can now get from tank anyway, so all of this can be taken down. This was our original ore processing for NV. Wonder if there's anything still in here. Nah. And then the pyrolyze oven for phenol, this can be taken down. This is for epoxy, this can all get ripped out. Hydrogen, lubricant, we don't need this anymore. And then these were all the on-demand craft things. We actually still use some of these for like one recipe each. These bolts we still use in an MV machine at this stage. Wow. Polarizer, yeah, this all have to get moved. Polyethylene sheets, do we need these anymore? I guess we do for patterns and things like that. Do I have those? I don't. Okay, so these need fluid solidified. And then this from the tree farm. Do we need any of this anymore? Carbon, plant balls, rubber, wood pulp. The thing is, there's so many uses for carbon dust. I don't know if they're necessary anymore. Obviously we need them for SMDs, but since we can pulverize the ingot, we can fluid solidify carbon, can't we? Yeah, we can. So we can fluid solidify into the ingot and then just pulverize up there as well. So no, we don't actually need this. And then rubber. All the things you need rubber for, we can just fluid solidify. We don't need that. And then plant balls. I don't think we need plant balls. We don't. Okay. And then the cobble gen. We'll have to set up a cobble gen, I think. But for now, I'm going to leave this. All of this, though, can be taken out. Our original MV machines. Wonder if there's anything still in these. Anyway, enough of all that boring stuff. I also got a chance to build out some more of the walls, and I decided just to make it symmetrical on both sides with the main corridor that we set up last time. And I also continued the theme and used more or less the same blocks. I did make some changes, like the floor, which you'll see in a second. But this actually didn't take me too long. There was a couple of mistakes where I ended up building levels like one block too high, and that kind of threw me off for a bit. But overall, it's a fairly simple pattern to keep building on, and it's quite easy to follow. Although there is one change I made where one of the walls was like kind of uneven, and so I changed it to be more unified, but I don't know if it looks the best. I'll show you that in a bit as well. Anyways, yeah, I ended up changing the floor from the light grey, as I mentioned I would, to this X-tones block, and I think it looks much better. I did try a couple of blocks, and they just didn't seem to fit quite right. The thing I like about this block is it's a bit lighter than the concrete. You can still tell it's a different block, and it's got a bit of a texture on it as well. It's not too flat. I also continued using these architecture blocks. They're not the easiest things to place though, like you have to place them in a certain position with your cursor. But yeah, I'm quite happy overall with how this is turning out. Another thing I want to have in this base is like a control room where I can access the ME system. And I would like to have that kind of central, but I don't really know where to put that. I'm also a little bit afraid of it being like too empty, these main corridors. So maybe I'll like change the floor, maybe like raise it a couple of blocks just in the middle, just to have some variation. But I do like the look of this fluid solidification room. And I was going to, since we need more than what is here, I was going to expand to this row. I just started this row of drawers and fluid solidifiers here. But I left a note for myself last night, and I think I'm going to move these over to this side and then move the fluids into the center, since I won't need as many of these double height machines as I thought I would. Like I have some here for rubber rings, I have some of the foils here, and the thin sheets for polyvinyl chloride. But overall, we don't need as many of these double height machines. So I'm going to move I think the tanks onto like these two sections here, and then have more fluid solidifiers over this side, since we don't need as many fluids as I thought either. Another option is to just extend the room this way, but that might end up like too big, and then what do we do on this side, because like we don't have enough fluids to fill this wall. I think it's best if we just remove this top layer and move it over to the other side. Oh man, this is gonna take me ages to move, but let's do it now while we still have minimal things on top. Since this is like an awkward height for these tanks, we can have them like the same layout here, where we have fluid storage buses on the top and the bottom. We could either place it like this, and by the way, the reason we can't like place them one on top of each other is because it forms a multi-block, like a virtual multi-block, where this will push into this tank and it will contaminate all the tanks. I know that you can lock the fluids like this, but I don't really want to do that. We could also just reduce the height of this one, and we'll just have them uneven heights. Or we could keep the same height and then raise these off the floor one. I think that might be a bit better. So raise them like that, and then have the roof at this height. Yeah, I think we'll do it like that instead. So I'm going to move the rest of these tanks over. Oh, and by the way, a really nice feature of Applied Energistics, this Applied Energistics version, the Trousers edition, is it adds this memory card function where you can copy and paste settings for, like, for example, extract only, and like the partition settings. If you have any of those, you can shift right click on these and copy all the settings without having to go into the interface, which is really nice. And I think that is exclusive to Trousers edition. I could be wrong on that, but yeah, this is a really nice feature. But yeah, I got all the tanks moved over. Another thing we have to decide is which block we want to put it like in the center of these. I might go with the anti-blocks that I've been using for the accent colors. Like these blocks here that we have like in the center. I might just put these in the middle. Let's just see how this looks. Oh yeah, I think I quite like that. We could even use these things on the edges, like that, and then maybe the same on the top, just to round it out a bit. Yeah, I like the look of that a lot. Maybe even on the sides as well. And then cap the top as well. Yeah, I really like that actually. And I'll probably do the same for these as well. Next we have to move these fluid solidifiers over there. And I won't forget to pack and tape these drawers before I move them. A couple of times when I was moving all of the drawers downstairs, I did break a few. When I broke those drawers with a couple of 100,000 items, the game froze for like at least a minute. I did get lucky though and didn't crash, so yeah, I won't be making that mistake again. Anyways, let's start moving all of these items. And something else I didn't think about was how we're going to wire this. I just wired it through the middle for now, and I think I'll have to make some applied Energistics facades. I don't actually know if they're in this. They must be though. Let's see, we have the cable anchor, which is just steel bolts. And normally the recipe is just this surrounded by the block. And that gives us the facades, yeah. But can we... Oh no, this is going to be a nightmare to place. In fact, can we even facade this? We do something like that from this side. And we'll break in. If we put a facade here, can we cable through this? We can. Okay, nice. Well, that makes things very easy. I suppose we'll need one on the lower level as well. So here. Oh, I have to place it on the cable. Okay. Oh wait, but now this is on the outside. So I'll have to, what, break this. Then place the facade. Then place the cable. There we go. That's what I want. Okay, everything has now been moved over. It's all nice and cleaned up. And I've got the framework in here for the second wall of fluid solidifiers. I also did upgrade all of these drawers to max as well. So they're all max upgraded. So they hold a lot of items. And if, like, we just open the ME system now, you can see, like, a difference. It's all nuggets. There's a way to filter this out using the view cell. I just haven't done it yet. But yeah, we have 2 million of just about every ingot that we have now. It looks very different to what it was before. And actually, I wonder what the drive health is. Like, we have a bunch of 64k drives. I wonder how full these are now. Now we're pretty much green on all of them. These are still the 4Ks. Yeah, we've got plenty of space. Mostly because we're storing most of the things in drawers now. But yeah, I'm quite liking how this is turning out. We're going to need to cap this room off somehow. With what though, I don't know. We might just copy the walls over there. And let me actually show you the part I meant by the walls, like, not lining up. So, like, before, the middle section of this wall, I used to have these black pillars coming up this block here. And that meant that this was a even number. And so when I was, like, building this out, this was an odd number, then it went to an even, then to an even again, then an odd. But I have changed that so that it always these black are always 5 blocks long, just so that it's much easier to build. However, I don't like this, like, flat face here. I'm going to have to change that. And, like, yeah, these are going to have to get changed so that the black pillars always are 5 blocks long. Okay, so the next thing I'd quite like to get done today is working on a control room. Because right now I'm still, like, just using those 3 or 4 interfaces down there to access my applied energistics system. And, like, for inputting recipes and searching the fluid terminal and the interface terminal, I'm still just coming here. So I'd like to have a dedicated room for that, and we'll maybe also put our crafting processors in there as well, maybe the disk drives, more or less all the applied energistics interface type of stuff. We might even have some sort of a display for our power usage and things like that. I don't actually know if we can do that in this pack since there's no, like, computer craft or... Wait, is there RF tools? No, we don't have RF tools, so we don't have the display or anything. I don't know, maybe there's other options, but I would like to have some sort of interface terminal and, like, a central hub for the base. So I think I would like to do it on the end of this corridor. And then we'll maybe have, like, a thinner corridor, maybe like a 5 wide that goes downstairs, and then you can connect into this room. And then I'll probably have some more stairs that go down here. So I'm thinking we'll lay out something like this, and we'll have a new set of terminals here. So I'll put the crafting terminal in the middle. Fluid terminal below that, then the interface terminal. Actually, no, that may be too high. Maybe we could have it on the sides. So interface on this side, and then pattern terminal. Like that, and then we'll have facades on this. And maybe we can have some storage monitors up here as well for some of the important items that we want to keep track of. Then I'm going to try and figure out what we're going to do for the walls here. I want this room to feel a bit smaller, so I'm not going to have the roof extend up quite as high. I'll probably keep it at this height. And I don't think I'll have it transparent on the top of this one either. I want this to feel a bit smaller in scale, and then you like come down to this bigger corridor. I'll also add the stairs down here as well. Okay, the stairs are now in. I tried to break it up a bit with these white accents on here. And I might put a border on the bottom there as well to connect it all. But yeah, I added our black arches here. And then I think I'll put the ceiling as white. Then as for these parts, I think I'll have this as another exit of this room. And maybe the same on this side as well. I guess the frame should be in black just to keep it consistent as well. So maybe we'll do this instead. Yeah, that looks much better. And then I've added in some more details with the white pillars. I think this is coming together really nicely. We'll extend the roof, I guess. And then, do I really want to cut it off here? If we start the wall here, maybe we can put our crafting CPUs in this slot, like in this 3x3, and extend them up the way. In case it wasn't obvious before, by the way, I don't actually have a plan for this room. I'm just kind of winging it. I think actually I'm going to shift these interfaces back one block, just to make it fit a bit nicer in here. Alright, then I capped off the roof. I tried to add some interesting shapes to it as well using these roof tiles. I think it turned out quite cool. So yeah, I'm quite happy with this room. Next we have to figure out where like the walkways for this, but I'll do that at a later stage, I think. And then I was thinking also out this exit here, we have another room on this same level, and we put all of our interfaces and molecular assemblers. That is going to be a nightmare to move, because when we break all these, we're going to get patterns spilling out everywhere. But I guess the earlier the better. As we keep adding to this, it's only going to get harder to move, and it will have to get moved eventually. That's something I'll probably do in between episodes, because that is going to take me quite a while. But yeah, let's figure out and probably upgrade while we're at it some place for these crafting CPUs. So I was thinking we put them in these sections here. And maybe if not, then we expand this out, maybe another half chunk out this way, and then put them in the back here. First of all, I suppose we have to actually get an ME connection over here, and I think I'm gonna... Well, I mean, it's so far away, maybe just for now we extend it just from the floor, from our old base. There. That looks a bit weird, but it's not going to be there long term. So now all of these should be connected. Yep, it's just on the wrong setting. So wait, store number of items, stored craftable, small terminal, and standard search keep. And then I extended this out a bit more. I think we'll start laying out the processors in the middle, like that, and then frame them in with black concrete. That could look quite cool. And then we'll copy that over here as well. Yeah, I like that. And then I think we'll do the same for both sides. So we'll just have like a little mini corridor of these crafting CPUs. And then I've also added like a further lowering of the ceiling here. I think I want to keep the ceiling quite low on this. And actually, the more I think about this, I don't think like 8 CPUs is going to be enough. So we'll probably end up doing it on this side of the wall as well. Maybe we'll just do it all the way around this room with CPUs. But I think what I might do just for now is just leave this open, just so that we can have room to expand the CPUs. Because I know for a fact we're going to need bigger CPUs than this for some of the later game crafts. But yeah, let's think about what other sort of functionalities we want this room to have. I think I want to also move our disk drives over here. So I guess I'll do that just now. Let me just clear the inventory a bit. And then we can put the drives maybe up this side of the wall. On both sides. I don't think we'll need many more drives than that, since we do have quite a lot of storage in drawers. And these will also, I guess, need plugged in. Oh, but I suppose my ME conduit's in one of these drives and it's not available. Should have probably thought about that. Okay, let's for now just hook these up and then I'll switch it out. Okay, so that turns that on. That should give me access to the ME conduit. And then we'll run the cable underneath. There we go, I got all the drives situated now, and I added a few more. We've got room to expand our ME system. However, with that, I think that's about all the time I have for today. I'm doing some extra working hours this week, so yeah, I have to leave it here for just now, but I do want to get this episode out today. We'll end it off here, and then I might figure out the crafting CPU situation over there. And then, yeah, next time we're going to continue with some more automation and hopefully some more progression with the tech side. And the plan is kind of just to go between building and progression, or building and tech. And we'll kind of just alternate, just to keep things a bit interesting. It might not seem like we've had that much progress today, but it might be like this for a little while, just while we move some of the systems over and rebuild them. Hopefully it is interesting enough. I'm still really enjoying this pack, but there is definitely a change of playstyle once you get Creative Tank. You have to think about things quite a bit differently. But anyways guys, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow for some more Omnifactory.